Minecraft seems to be falling into a similar trap that a lot of other older games have experienced, letting players go too fast until they get bored and just stop playing. But after a lot of trial and error, I've dug up an item which you've probably forgotten about, a mechanic that keeps me motivated to play, no matter what Mojang change. But before we get there, let's talk. There's plenty of older games which have changed integral parts of their mechanics to make the experience more fast-paced, to keep the player as on their toes as possible. Take Call of Duty for example. In more recent games, that old clunky method of sprinting got wiped out for a new movement system, where the player can genuinely move as if they're on ice. And despite that seeming like a good thing due to the movement now looking so smooth, to me it almost shows a lack of care for those now older players who have been playing Call of Duty for years, as the game that they remember is unrecognisable.
Feels a little arcadey. I hate the new gunplay of Call of Duty starting from the Modern Warfare reboot.
It's so bouncy.
It's that's a good way to describe it. It doesn't feel good at all.
For me, I think this problem occurred in Minecraft in early 2016 in the 1.9 combat update, and with it, the release of the elytra. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, if I ever play a server with friends, I will always grind until I can get an elytra first, just to show off. But that's just it. I get this item and I feel a sense of completion. I guarantee you've had a similar experience where you and friends get wings and it makes life so easy that you don't want to touch the ground again. And without realising it, you've killed off the game's magic. Okay, I've been yapping for about 2 minutes now, so I may as well say, the thing that's been keeping me motivated to play is simply minecarts. That might sound weird, I know, and there is a lot of people who still do use minecarts, but I guarantee that I can justify this for you. Rails came out in an early update in 2010, and this was when updates were a lot less specific. It wasn't something that you'd only come across once and then forget about. No, Rails were different. A good rail system would genuinely feel like it never ends. They'd connect to every single project you've done so that nothing that you've built feels isolated. It wasn't about ease of access. If it was, you'd use an elytra. So when the long tedious process of placing rails eventually came to an end, it meant that the project you've been working on for weeks wouldn't get lost in the future. Instead, you'd be excited to come back to whatever it was you built. Also, using a minecart never really felt like a chore of getting from A to B. Instead, I found that playing Minecraft with a world centered around a railway to connect everything you have and will build to be reminiscent of the Minecraft we played as kids. Because the more I play, the more this childlike carefree creation grows, and I'm experiencing this wonderful contrast where I'm motivated to start new projects as I know they'll all be connected, yet I'm not fighting myself to get things done at an inhumane speed. By just playing at a little bit of a slower pace, it truly feels like I've gone back in time.